Greetings to you all, my people, and welcome to another episode of Damole News. Alright, my people, Tinubu is at the front page again as the Minister of Works, David Umahi, confirms Tinubu Lebanese ally, Chagoury, got Lagos Calabar Road contract without competitive bidding, says project to tentatively cost over 15 trillion naira. Alright. I'm going to be giving you guys the full details, but please help us by liking and sharing this video so that YouTube and Facebook can recommend it to more people. Thank you. So, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, has said that the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road project will cost a tentative sum of 15 trillion naira and the project will be completed in 8 years. The minister said this when he was featured on Channels Television Morning Brief program on Thursday. Umahi also said that the contractor handling the project, Chagoury's High-Tech Construction Company Limited, did not do any competitive bidding for the project. Rather, the contract was awarded to the company based on its track record. On the bidding process of the project, as the contractor handling the project, Chagoury has a close relationship with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the minister confirmed. Meanwhile, Sahara reporters on September 24, 2023 reported how the multi-billion firm awarded the construction of the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway High-Tech Road Construction Company, a subsidiary of the High-Tech Construction Company, was owned by a Nigeria-Lebanese developer with alleged criminal records, Chagoury. High-Tech is a division of the Chagoury Group, a business conglomerate owned by Chagoury, a no-business partner of the Nigerian President Tinubu. Eco Atlantic in Lagos is also the brainchild of the businessman. Years back, Chagoury was banned from getting a visa on terrorism grounds for allegedly funding a political coalition which the United States deemed a terrorism group. He was also in the past accused of drugs dealing by the US and Lebanese government. The Los Angeles Times, which did a deep dive on Chagoury in August 30, 2016 edition, said that Chagoury visa troubles likely stem from his support of a Christian Lebanese politician. The politician, Michel Aoun, is part of the same political coalition as Hezbollah, which the United States deemed a terror group. Since the 1990s, Chagoury was reported to have cultivated a friendship with the Clinton's family, in part by writing big checks, including an estimated $5 million to the Clinton Foundation. This is despite being a non-citizen forbidden by law to make donations to the campaign of US politicians. He, however, flouted the law with his numerous donations. By the time Hillary Clinton became Secretary of State, the relationship was strong enough for one of Bill Clinton's closest aides to push for the Chagoury to get access to top diplomats, and thus began the US exploring a deal to build a consulate at the Eco Atlantic city. Between 2012 and 2016, he sought to help fund election campaigns of some US politicians. He donated to the Republicans and was listed as a sponsor for a 2014 art exhibit. However, in 2019, Chagoury reportedly paid $1.8 million in fines to resolve the investigation when it began. Born in Nigeria to Lebanese immigrants, the businessman flourished in the 1990s through his close association with the late dictator Sani Abacha by receiving development deals and oil franchise. After Abacha's death in 1998, the Nigerian government hired lawyers to track down funds stolen through associates of the late dictator. The trial led to bank accounts all over the world, some under Chagoury's control. In 2000, the Lebanese businessman was convicted by a Swiss court for laundering some of the funds Abacha looted from Nigeria. He agreed to pay a fine of about $600,000 at the time to get his Swiss conviction expunged and added back to $66 million to the Nigerian government, but denied knowing the funds were stolen. So my people, that is the history of the person Tinubu want to hand over 50 trillion naira project to. Imagine 50 trillion naira project with our dying economy. Now this is another source for politicians to loot money. 15 trillion naira for one project. How much is Nigeria 2024 budget? Anyways, I'll let you guys watch the interview and I'll be right back.
Road construction involved, so, and this brings us to the point that we can run the figures.
Yes.
Now, we're talking about 700 kilometers of coastal road, and from what His Excellency Atiku Abubakar said, he said the project, was about 12 point something, $1 billion under Jonathan's administration, and that Buhari's administration renegotiated it to $11.1 billion. Okay, and so if you use $1 to 1,200 naira, that is argument comes up to about 19 billion per kilometer. That's what it comes up to. Now, the design that is available is the NDDC design, and I have it here. And the NDDC design, has these features. One is one carriageway. One carriageway is 7.3 meters. Then you have the inner shoulder of 1.5 meters, the outer shoulders of 2.75 meters. That's the outer shoulder. And so you have this kind of arrangement in two places, which means that the NDDC design, the design that is available for in the Ministry of Works, is 4 lanes, and some inner and outer
4
shoulders.
lanes, is it 2 or
two lanes here, okay, with shoulders, 2 lanes here, and then at the middle it's like earthwork collecting basin. It doesn't have any train track. So when you now put the 4 lanes and put the shoulders together, it gives you a total pavement of about 23 meters. When you now divide the a standard carriageway is 11.55 meters. A standard carriageway is 11.55 meters, which is 7.3, inner shoulder of 1.5, outer shoulder of 2.75. And so we use this 11.55 to do our analysis. So when you look at the total pavement under that design and narrative, you'll be getting 8 point something billion, per standard carriageway. That is the information that is available, and joining his conversation. Now you come to I was very shocked to find out that the only pavement available is that we have a binder of 60. Of course, you have the stone base of 20 cm. You have binder of 60, millimeters, which is 6 cm. Then you have the wearing course of 40 millimeter or 4 cm. That's what is available, and that's very dangerous and terrible for a coastal route. Now, what is our design? Our design is mega. It's 10 lanes. 10 lanes. And at the end of these 10 lanes, you also have 7.63 meters concrete duct. So you don't have to cut the road again. And so when you put our 10 lanes, inner shoulders and outer shoulders, you have a total pavement of 59 meters. 59 meters. Now, when you check, the one given, 1.06 trillion for 47.7 kilometers
for the first section.
Yes, and then you find out that our standard gauge, standard gauge is to say the 11.55. How much of this, 10 lanes, 59 meters of pavement, how much of it, is what's in this, standard gauge of 11.55, and you find out that it's 5.16, times. 1.56 times that of the NDDC, or the one that Atiku Abubakar quoted, is 2.225 of the standard gauge. So if you divide this 19 billion per kilometer by the standard gauge, you get 8.5 something. If you divide our own, you will get 4.39 billion per standard carriageway.
So as it stands now, let's put some facts straight to the people, because you've done the analytics. Some people may understand the jargon, some may not understand. We're not engineers. How much will it cost the entire project? How much will it cost the government? Because you say it's ECP plus F. Not PPP. That means there's counterpart funding, which borders around 15 to 30% that the government is going to put in at the end of the day. They'll have to toll to make their money back. So at the end of the day, so from the federal government's counterpart funding, how much will it cost, and how long will this project take to complete?
The first section is going to take 36 months. The second section is running from this seaport to the boundary of Ogun and Ondo, and that's about 55 kilometers. It's been passed by the BPP, and it's going to go to FEC. The next FEC is going to go to FEC, for FEC as approval. And the third section is starting from the end of the project, because people queried, why are you not starting the project at Calabar? Why must we start it at Calabar? The 0 point is, at Lagos. And so we had to start, the project, and don't forget that already we've almost completed 1.3 kilometer in terms of final concrete pavement. And it's a beauty to behold, So the third section is starting in Calabar, and that's Calabar to Akwa Ibom, and that will be in July. The design and the procurement, because when you have a design and you want to start construction, you have to also, reevaluate it. And that's what we are presently doing. And after that, it will now go to the BPP, and then it will go to FEC. So we are going to procure the project, in multiple sections. There's a section that is going to start in, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt going to Bayelsa. Another section is going to start from Delta, going towards Ondo State. So it's going to start in multiple sections. And each section is going to be independent of the other.
But there should be an average idea of what you call
8 years. We're looking at 8 years.
8 years to complete the
life
project.
tenure of Mr. President.
At how much from the federal government's purse?
Well, let's first of all, whether it is EPC, in terms of the external funding coming in, or the counterpart funding, it's all federal government, money. Because when you tow the road, it's, the public, fund. So if you do the simple analysis, and it's difficult, even a normal project, to say this is the cost of the project, but you can have a tentative idea of the project. So if I'm doing, 5.167, multiples, carriageway, and each of it is costing me 4 billion. And I can tell you that this is the most, prudent project, in the recent time. We have, similar project in Bodo Boni, awarded about 3-4 years back. The cost of that project is 5.067 billion, and it's on flexible payments. Naira.
Per kilometer.
Per kilometer,
okay.
Yes, The other projects not awarded by me, that is also going about 4 billion per kilometer. And so this issue of, the cost of the coastal, road per kilometer is born out of, the prudency of the Mr. President.
Is it because it's cheaper with cement? With concrete
is more expensive.
Which is more expensive, between the asphalt and all of it. Is that what is making the cost to come down?
It's not making the cost come down. The cost is coming down because we are facing the realities of the time.
Okay. But we've not been able to put a figure to this part of
I'm trying to put figures. Okay.
So,
we're curious to know the figures because
I'm almost getting to that.
It's a national budget, and there's a spending limit, and we're running deficits every other year, so it's a commonwealth. So we're trying to know the numbers.
Investment, and there's return on investment.
Yeah, you'll get to that
right now. If you do, 5.167, multiple, standard carriage way, and I've told you that, the cost of, of that is tentatively 4.359 billion per that standard gauge. So you multiply 5.167, by 4.3, 4.3
billion.
Yeah. So you have a tentative cost.
Sorry, say that again. So
4.3 per kilometer.
Yes, times.
That is, the standard gauge.
You want to do the math?
Okay.
I want to just do the math so that everybody knows.
I don't want my head to blow. He's the engineer.
But you've already said you release those figures tomorrow.
So let's just help Nigerians.
Let's just help.
So I was misquoted. I didn't say tomorrow. I came to run the figures. I started yesterday.
Right, so 4.39 billion.
Yes.
Multiplied by
700.
No, it's 700.
No.
We'll first multiply by the different sections. So help us. You're the expert.
You're the engineer. So we don't get our head blown up. So, Honorable Minister, what Nigerians perhaps are trying to say?
So 4.39 multiplied by
that.
Can I give you the tentative?
Yes. You can. We know it's tentative. That's okay. 4.39.
Multiply 4 by 5.
Times 5?
Yes. You get about 20, is it correct?
21.95.
Yeah, multiplied by 700.
Times
you get about
700.
14 trillion.
700.
Yes.
That's 15.3 trillion.
Yes.
The Honorable Minister knows
About
his
that.
math. So it's going to cost 15.365 trillion.
Let me explain.
Okay.
It's going to be a tentative figure.
Okay.
When we pass through, a section that is, what is costing a lot of money is the sampling. And I'm very proud of this figure. I'm very proud of the cost. I'm very proud that I did a very good job. And it's something that years after, I would have left, this office, I will be able to defend it. And it didn't just come, we argued, we quarreled, there were rejections, and so on and so forth. But the basic, elements in this construction is the sampling. And the basic elements in this job is, the issue of the concrete and the reinforcement. So I had to analyze it from the first principle. How much is sand, how much is chipping, how much is cement, and then I put a cost based on Procurement Act that this is your, profit and overhead. So I arrived at a figure. And the figure I arrived at concrete is the same figure I give to other contractors. Now, I also arrived at how much is per meter cubed of, sand filling. And that's about 25,000 naira per meter cubed. And that's what we also give to other, contractors in other projects, So I will pride myself to the glory of God that this project is the most prudent project, that I'm starting. Other projects I met, we are reviewing, we are fighting, and we're trying to review, the cost. We're trying to review the design elements. For example, the Lokoja to Benin, we have redesigned it on concrete pavement, and we still kept the cost. The Benin to Warri, we redesigned on concrete pavement, and we have kept the cost. So I'm very proud of the cost elements.
I'd like you to speak to the narrative that there was an original design said to have been done by JB that passed through the waterworks route. And then they're saying this is a new design entirely that is now passing through the business. I'd like you to speak to that because that's causing a lot of controversy.
Well, the first and foremost is the right of way. The federal government has a irrevocable right of way. And so when we looked at it was Mr. President that started the idea of the coastal route when he was governor of Lagos State. And he had a right of way. But, the character of, some of our people along that, right of way is been totally built up. We have high rise and all kinds of stuff. People just think that coastal road is just a standard gauge, of 7.3 meters. No, it's a 100-meter corridor. And so when we looked at the number of infrastructure we're going to destroy along that, gazetted right of way, we felt that it's not just about compensation. We have the feelings of the people. And so we had to do some economic indices. We analyzed it. And we felt, one, we have to be within the coast. And number two, we are going to save a lot of infrastructure. And that's what we've done. We have had to redesign to be along the coast. And don't forget that for national interests, must give, take priority over personal interest. And so that's what we have analyzed, and that's why we have redesigned.
The only challenge, I know Anna has a question, the only challenge is the issue of attracting investment, because this is somebody who lived in America, went to Europe and came to Africa, and seeing this happen, maybe it doesn't tell well at the end of the day in terms of outlook. We understand that. And
Yes, so the Honorable Minister, the 7-day ultimatum that was given to him, you just cleared the air on why the redesign, because when I asked him 2 days ago, he talked about he didn't even know why that redesign policy, why they changed the previous design to the new design. He's not aware. Maybe he'll just be hearing it on the show now.
I'm not reporting to him. It's
I
not,
know, but
it's not
and there are other businesses.
there are other
on that
businesses.
corridor,
It's just
it's
not
not just
not
one.
just
but it's not
him.
just his own.
Yes.
We have the is it Oniru?
Of course, they're all
beach,
affected.
and we're taking all that shoreline. And so I don't know why landmark owned is
Okay, but my question now is the 7-day ultimatum given to all the businesses on that route.
You want me to increase it?
I don't know if 7 days, well, it's for them to, another business owner on that route also talked about the 7 days not being enough for them.
Well, you see, we have started the reconstruction, the final, pavement construction, and we had to join that section, so that we will give them enough time. It's not just 7 days. We've been on that for the past 7 months, and we've been talking to them. They knew that this is the alignment, and they knew that they ought to have evacuated. And so we were just fulfilling the legal obligation by saying, no, we'll give you 7 days. But we could give another 7 days by reason of my coming. But I had to visit the place, I had to talk to the man, and we're laughing together, we're chatting, and also offering my own engineering idea of what he has to do. He can create artificial pools.
So you become a consultant now.
I
consulting free of
That's
charge.
what I told him. I asked him that he has to pay me for the idea.
So my people, that is it for you all. I saw this news and I decided to share it with you guys. But please let me know your opinion in the comment section. And please help us to like and share this video so that YouTube and Facebook can recommend it to more people. Thank you so much for your time and God bless you. Amen.